Hey Susie, Professor Ball here. How's it going? During the course of the semester, you're going to get feedback from me in a few different ways. I think last time I just inserted comments into your essay. This time you're going to get video feedback from me. So let's get started. The first thing I do when I look at your paper or anybody's paper is I open it up and I look at MLA format. So I look to see if you have all the information that you need right here. So you have this and this, which is good, and you have the date. You have your last name and page number, and you have it here too. But just make sure you put a space here. Oops, hold on. So Martinez, can I type? Martinez 1, Martinez 2, and so on. All right, so technology in little hands. This is a lower order concern, but you'd capitalize the L and the H. All right, so the use of technology is undeniably the most talked about topic all around. Technology has been made one of the most viable things we do in our everyday life, more specifically our smartphones. Statistics say that adults open their phones at 5 minutes after waking up and about another 50 times throughout the day. This type of statistics can be eye-opening for parents. Nowadays, you see children as small as months old with cell phones or tablets. All right. So you're giving us some background into the talk. I'm not seeing the title of the talk. You would need that. And then background on the speaker. All right. So in this TED Talk, the speaker, Sarah DeWitt, spoke in regards on one of the most serious issues that smartphones have brought into society nowadays are children and technology. As technology keeps advancing, we see more and more children on smartphones or tablets. There were 3 fears mentioned, and this is definitely a lower order concern. Just check out MLA format numbers. All right, fears mentioned in this TED Talk. Fears that we as a society have in regards to our younger generation. Screens are passive, screens are a waste of time, and screens can isolate us from our children. So if those are the 3 fears, then what you would do is you would set that off with a colon, because you're about to define, you're about to define what those 3 fears are. So the first thing I wanted to tell you is the writing here is fine, but I can already see that you're not answering the prompt. The prompt is, how does Sarah DeWitt make a convincing case? How does she make herself persuasive that we need to be more aware of technology in the hands of children? And I'll come back to that in just a second. But think about it this way. Like the sample essays that we had and the video that I posted, did she use images, videos, music? Was there humor involved? Was there interaction with the audience? Did she use data or statistics or maybe personal experience or anecdotes? That's what this paper should be focusing on. Okay, we see many parents using their smartphones or tablets being used as a tool to get children to calm down or prevent a child from acting inappropriate in public. Screens are passive. It will prevent children from getting up and moving. As much as that statement can be true, screens can also be used for children to interact with the game that they are playing. All right, so children love to see themselves on screens. Interactive games can get kids up and moving. Probably a comma here, just because you're continuing the thought. This seems kind of hit and run, though. Let me see if this works. Hold on a second. Is it blending? No. Blending. Okay. So you're using a quotation, but you're not telling me who says it. Obviously, it's DeWitt and why it's important. So keep that in mind. PBS has launched a game where children could interact with the game themselves. As the children play this game, it gets their mind going. And is this still a quote? Oh, no. It gets their mind going. And as they play, they're learning about bats. Okay, so now this is another hit and run quotation, meaning, remember the handout that we had? It's on the calendar where the prompt was, where you have the top piece of bread where you introduce who's talking. The middle part of the sandwich is a quotation, and then the bottom piece of bread is, why are you telling me this? Why is it important? Why is it interesting? Why is it significant? All right. Many parents can see the use of screens as a waste of time. Screen games can be used for data analysis and student assessment. The game itself records a child's activity within the game. The game itself records a child's activity within the game. Period, maybe? Or a dash, comma. It can assess the child's understanding of the game. PBS that's a lot of games, Sussy. Susie, sorry. Game. 19 times. All right, so be careful. Do you see all this repetition? Be careful of the repetition because it can be, make the reading a little more tedious, maybe annoy the reader. So look at it this way. So PBS had launched a game where children can interact with it themselves. What's another word for game? If you right-click on the word in Microsoft Word, you'll get to the thesaurus, and that'll give you some ideas. As the children play, it gets their mind going, and as they play, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes it's just rephrasing the sentence. You can sometimes remove the repeated word. Do you see all those? That's a lot. All right. So PBS launched a game with Curious George in it. This game was mostly math questions, period. As the children played, comma, the computer recorded the individual children's understanding of the math problems. The same 80 children that were put to play this game were assessed mathematically. Put to play this game. That's kind of awkward. I would take a look at that. All right. The findings were almost identical. This is another example of where the colon is needed because that's going to define what is identical. The game's recording and the test results are so close. This shows us that games can be used as a form of assessing children. Okay, so we have another hit and run. Children love to play games. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to continue with this because it's almost at the end. The writing here is okay, but you don't answer the prompt. You don't tell me how DeWitt makes her point. Basically, what you're doing is you are summarizing the TED Talk. So you are allowed to revise one paper this semester. You'll know which paper that will be after the third essay is done. This may be it. I'm also noticing you don't have a works cited page. So the main concern is not answering the prompt. So you'll use this feedback that I'm giving you for your error log and hopefully help you for the next paper. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? Thanks.